If you have not played this game yet, you need to. It's one of the best RPGs of all time. I would say it's actually the best Elder Scrolls in general. Daggerfall has, the biggest map and the most, awe factor. Arena is the precursor, so respect for that. Oblivion, I love Oblivion's physics and just the Gamebryo engine, just how it looks. Skyrim is a good game, but all it's really better at is the graphics. When you play Morrowind for the first time, you're never gonna forget it. It's one of those games I can remember playing it back, probably 9 years ago. The first time I played it, I was like 18. I was playing it on my Xbox 360. And, just with the crappy old Xbox graphics, and it was just amazing. I remember I didn't play 100%. I just beat the main story basically, and then, kind of gave up with it, but I'll never forget. Old Redguard approves this message. Just look at this. It's so entertaining just going through caves and stuff. The water would look better if I had refraction on, but refraction takes a lot of resources unnecessarily, and it doesn't really change much. But just look at this. Look at how beautiful this is.
Greetings, friend. I'm up for conversation if you care.
Greetings.
All right, then. I'm listening.
Go ahead.
One thing that a lot of people miss from Morrowind when they go to Oblivion or Skyrim is all the spells. There are very many spells in Daggerfall and Morrowind. My favorite that I miss the most is flying. Look at this. It's amazing. The freedom flying gives you. It's not even a mod, it's just built in. It's just fantastic. The iconic Silt Striders. They take you wherever you want to go. Who's a good boy? That's a good boy. He's so cute. There's actually a mod too you can get where you can actually ride them, but I don't like it. I like to get to where I want to go instantly. Look at that. I know every Elder Scrolls game is beautiful in its own way, but
Someone watching me. I
with all the other ones, you know, you've seen that before. You've seen, you know, deciduous forests and mountains and coniferous forests.
We make a special trip.
But Morrowind is, you've
Say
never
no,
seen it.
pray.
You know, there's volcanoes and these weird crag lands and the giant mushroom trees. The ashlands. It's just amazing. Got an ash storm. This sky, I think this is the Skies mod, which there's a few other different skybox mods that you can try, but Skies is probably the most popular one.
Where would you like to go?
And then with OpenMW has it built in, but I know regular Morrowind you can get a mod where you can change the view distance, but you can't turn it up too high because it really is a resource hog rendering in all the everything. But just having it on like mid settings, you can see that, you know, dwarf fortress over the hills, and it looks so cool. Same thing with Daggerfall and Morrowind. Even if you're inside, you can teleport. Back to town. Or you could use the Mark and Recall spell, which I do not have at the moment, which saves so much time.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
There's so many ways to get around. Fast traveling is easy. They don't straight out tell you. It's not as easy as, you know, going to the map and clicking,
ahead,
which
I'm
a lot of
listening.
people, you know, prefer because it's quicker. But this is more immersive. You know, you gotta go to a Silt Strider, you need a scroll, you need a spell, or you can talk to the Mage Guild and they can teleport you. Now I'm in Sage's Mora across the map.
I'm listening, please. Go ahead.
Parts like this, where it's like Archipelago, is a bit of a pain, but there are spells, you know, for water walking, you know, just like Oblivion has. Skyrim kind of got rid of all the cool spells, but there are plenty of mods for that. But I am not a mage. I am like a paladin, so no water walking for me yet. just the sheer detail of cities like Skyrim, you know, you can tell Bethesda just gave up. You know, there's so many mods to make the cities bigger and add more NPCs and stuff. Because it's so, there's like 10 NPCs in a town. This, in Morrowind and Daggerfall and kind of Oblivion. Oblivion's okay. But Morrowind and Daggerfall are just like unparalleled. Like, there's just so much density, you know, and it feels so alive. I don't even have any, like, density mods or anything. Like, this is just all vanilla. I try to keep my games, you know, vanilla plus these days.
Do you want something?
But there's just so many NPCs. They all got their own names.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure
Their
I
own
don't know how
stories
to
to
find
tell.
it.
The writing is very good in this game. I've played it 4 or 5 times now. Not 100%, but, you know, different builds and stuff till I get bored. And just the writing and the sheer amount of, like, lore and detail. You know, it's the same with Daggerfall, and that's why I hope, you know, Wayward Realms can capture the Daggerfall and the Morrowind writing. Because so many of these, you know, post, you know, 2010 RPGs, they're written by, like, you know, just like woke, uninspired, you know, college kids. You know, it's not, they didn't get the job because they have the skill. They got the job because they have a piece of paper that says that they're allowed to do the job. It's ridiculous.
Please, I don't wish...
I'm listening. Go ahead.
You may speak. Impressive. These clothes suit you well.
Most Elder Scroll games are, the combat's very mid, but it's not really about the combat, it's more about the adventure and the progression. Most RPGs don't have the best combat. In the later games, there are more mods to change it, but I myself usually prefer the vanilla. It's more mellow than playing Dark Souls or something like that, or Mordhau, that complicated. But it does the job.
I will kill you quickly.
You're hardly a match for me.
You're starting to fail.
All right, then. I'm listening.
And of course, all Elder Scrolls games have the difficulty slider. So it can be as easy or as hard as you want. For the first playthrough, I recommend just going through on, medium or 50.
You have sealed your fate.
But at a certain point, it is, you'll catch up. It'll be really hard in the beginning, but it gets easier. See, I put it on max difficulty, and I got a Daedric longsword and pretty good stats.
This is the end of you, Swift!
You cannot escape the righteous.
You will suffer greatly!
Except if you get knocked on the ground and paralyzed over and over again. Then there's nothing you can do. A lot of people, their biggest gripe when they try to play Morrowind is that they can't hit anything. And the reason they can't hit anything is because they have low abilities with that weapon, and low agility, and low fatigue. All three of those play a part. And if you really don't want to deal with that, there are mods to make it like, Oblivion and Skyrim, where you hit every time. But I like to keep it vanilla because, it kind of makes sense. Because even in real life, if you swing at somebody, they can, move a little bit and they got armor on, your blade could glint off their armor. Or even if anyone's ever actually used a sword and practice with it, you would know that if you do not align your edge properly, it's gonna glint off their armor, So I love that. It adds a sense of realism. If you don't have any skill with your sword, you're gonna swing it the wrong way, and you're gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce off. It's gonna glint. The enemy's gonna see your blow coming, and they're gonna dodge out of the way. So I really love that. And nowadays, most true RPG lovers know, they're not getting better. They're getting worse. All these new RPGs coming out, AAA, whatever, they're pretty crap. They just focus on graphics. I've mentioned this many in my other videos, but I'm sick of these games focusing on graphics and hiring cheap writers, just going cheap on everything, except the graphics, and I hate it, playing games over and over again like this, just with, a few mods, they're timeless, you can play them forever. And, the only RPG I'm really looking forward to is Wayward Realms. Wayward Realms is made by the same people who made Daggerfall, so it should be like the best RPG of the decade. But while we wait for that, you know, replay Elder Scrolls, try Two Worlds, you know, all that. You know, I've actually, I'm modded Divinity 2, the first Divinity is Divine Divinity, Beyond Divinity. So I'm just going back and modding the older games, really trying to appreciate what made those games good and what made them, you know, you can play them, you know, 10, 20 years later and they still just fill you with awe, you know. Of course, if you're young and, you know, you care about graphics so much, you're going to be disappointed. But if you can get past the graphics and, you know, just add a few mods to make the burden not so great, it'll change your perspective on what a good game is.